took the sign down last September from the edge of County Road, the one that said welcome to Harper, in paint that barely showed. There's nothing there but wiregrass, a church bell with no sound, and a row of empty windows where a town once gathered round. The barber shop is leaning, the feed store roof is gone, the schoolyard has no children, but the swings still carry on. I parked beside the station where the bus came every noon, and heard a screen door closing in the middle of the afternoon. Some towns don't die completely, some names don't leave the ground. You can cover them with silence, but they still make a sound. Vanished towns still sing at night, through the dust and the dashboard light. They hum beneath the broken signs, they live between the county lines. If you listen when the wind comes down, you can hear a vanished town. My uncle ran the market, sold nails and kerosene. He knew everybody's trouble and everybody's dream. He kept a little notebook by the register entwined with names of folks who owed him, but he never charged a dime. My mother met my father at a dance behind the school. She said he had a Plymouth and a smile too proud for rules. They danced until the fiddle wore a hole right through the floor, and she swore that little town had never shined so bright before. Vanished towns still sing at night, through the dust and the dashboard light. They hum beneath the broken signs, they live between the county lines. If you listen when the wind comes down, you can hear a vanished town. Highways pass them over, maps forget their names. Time can close a main street, but it can't put out the flame. Every empty doorway keeps a little light, every boarded window holds somebody's Friday night. Vanished towns still sing at night, through the dust and the dashboard light. They hum beneath the broken signs, they live between the county lines. If you listen when the wind comes down, you can hear a vanished town. If you listen when the wind comes down, you can hear a vanished town. I had your letter folded with the lines I couldn't pass. The radio kept breaking through the salt air and the rain, and every steel guitar note dragged your voice back through my name. I stopped at a roadside market with a roof patched up in tin, bought a map and black coffee from a man with a weathered skin. He said, "Son, you look like trouble that finally met the shore." I said, "Mister, I've been running, but I can't run anymore. West of Corpus Christi, I'm still searching for the truth. Every mile of open highway turns my headlights back to you. If the morning finds me ready, if the rain don't wash me loose, west of Corpus Christi, I'll stop running from the truth." There was a motel by the water with a sign that blinked in blue, and a woman at the counter humming something sad and true. I sat outside till sunrise with your letter in my hand, watching ghosts cross the highway like they knew where I should stand. I thought distance was a doorway, thought silence made me clean, but love don't leave a body just because it can't be seen. So I turned the car inland when the day came breaking through, with a heart still full of weather and a road that pointed you. Some oceans make you smaller, some highways make you see. The thing you call your freedom might be what won't set you free. West of Corpus Christi, I'm still searching for the truth. Every mile of open highway turns my headlights back to you. If the morning finds me ready, if the rain don't wash me loose, west of Corpus Christi, I'll stop running from the truth. West of Corpus Christi, I'll stop running from the truth. There's a box of Christmas ribbons in the closet by the stairs, golden, red, and silver, from 100 little cares. Mama saved them every season in a cookie tin of blue. Said a pretty thing still worth keeping when its first good work is through. The radio played country while the kettle filled the room, and the porch light caught the window in the early evening gloom. Daddy untied packages with a pocket knife and grin, and every ribbon on that table wrapped us safely in. Christmas ribbons in a tin tie me back to home again. Every bow and every crease, every year of borrowed peace. If the cold comes closing in, warm me with those ribbons in a tin. Found them after springtime, when the house was nearly sold, still curled inside that cookie tin, like little bands of gold. Some were torn and wrinkled, some had tape and dust, but everyone remembered the hands that held our trust. I kept the blue tin with me, set it near my chair, and sometimes when December lays its silence in the air, I open up those colors and let the old year spin, till I hear my mother laughing through the ribbons in the tin. Paper tears and color fades, but love can still remain. Some things keep their warmth long after winter rain. Christmas ribbons in a tin tie me back to home again. Every bow and every crease, every year of borrowed peace. If the cold comes closing in, warm me with those ribbons in a tin. Tie me back to home again. Christmas ribbons in a tin. The road through Laurel County still bends around the pines, past a whitewashed wooden fence and a row of weathered signs. I used to hear the church bell, no, not calling me to pray, just marking out the noon hour in that slow old country way. There was a woman selling apples from a truck bed painted blue, and a boy with a borrowed banjo playing songs he barely knew. The radio in the hardware store would crackle through the heat, and every passing pickup kept the rhythm with the street. Laurel County, keep that sound, let it roll through dusty ground. Fiddle lines and porch light glow, all the roads I used to know. If the years come wearing down, Laurel County, keep that sound. The apple truck is gone now, the hardware store's bare. The boy who played that banjo might have settled anywhere, but I drove through after sundown with the windows open wide, and heard that same old rhythm moving somewhere deep inside. Some towns don't need a record, some don't need a name, They keep their music breathing in the boards and window frames. And every time the steel guitar comes slipping through the rain, I see that county road again and feel the years unchained. Some songs live on paper, some live in the air, some stay in little places waiting for you there. Laurel County, keep that sound, let it roll through dusty ground. Fiddle lines and porch light glow, all the roads I used to know. If the years come wearing down, Laurel County, keep that sound. Laurel County, keep that sound. There's a blue screen door in memory that never learned to close. It swung beside the kitchen where the summer coffee rose. My mother sang while sweeping, my father tuned the dial, and every country station made the morning last a while. A dog slept on the back steps, corn grew past the lane, and the tin roof kept a rhythm every time it rained. I was young enough to wonder why the old folks talk so slow. Now I understand the meaning of the things they used to know. Blue screen door, swing again, let me hear that old house wind. Let the radio play low, take me where the warm days go. If I can't be young no more, let me dream by the blue screen door. The house belongs to strangers, the gardens turn to grass, and the mailbox leans toward evening like it's watching people pass. But I drove there last September when the leaves were coming down, and I swear that screen door opened, though the house made not a sound. Maybe memory is a doorway, maybe longing is a key. Maybe every place we loved once keeps a chair for who we used to be. The wind moved through the cedar, the sky was copper brown, and somewhere in that silence I heard home come back around. Wood can turn to weather, paint can fade from blue, but one old sound from childhood can still come back for you. Blue screen door, swing again, let me hear that old house wind. Let the radio play low, take me where the warm days go. If I can't be young no more, let me dream by the blue screen door. If I can't be young no more, let me dream by the blue screen door. The Silver Spoon Diner had a counter worn in blue. The coffee tasted bitter, but the pie could pull you through. A trucker named Delgado played the same song every night, and nobody ever stopped him when the steel guitar cried. At the Silver Spoon Diner, where the rain came down slow, every lonely traveler had a place to let go. Coffee rings and neon lines, old songs keeping borrowed time. At the Silver Spoon Diner, the lost hearts used to know. Mary worked the register with a pencil in her hair. She knew who needed talking and who needed quiet care. Now the sign is gone to rust, and the windows face the rain, but I still taste that coffee every time I hear her name. Some places feed the hunger that bread can never touch. At the Silver Spoon Diner, where the rain came down slow, every lonely traveler had a place to let go. Coffee rings and neon lines, old songs keeping borrowed time. At the Silver Spoon Diner, the lost hearts used to know. There's a postcard from Kentucky in a drawer of kitchen string, with a bent-up corner folded round a faded wedding ring. The front shows rolling pasture, a white fence and a sky. The back says I still remember, but it never tells me why. I found it after supper in my grandmother's old place, where the wallpaper was peeling like time had lost its grace. The radio near the window played a song I didn't know, and the rain kept tapping softly like it had nowhere to go. Kentucky postcards speak to me, tell me who you used to see. Was it love that missed the train? Was it goodbye dressed up as rain? When the old house starts to grieve, Kentucky postcards speak to me. The ring was smooth and narrow, not worth much in a store, but it felt like it had waited for 100 years or more. My grandmother never married, after Grandpa passed away. But there are roads inside a lifetime that no family Bible says. Maybe he was a soldier, maybe she was 17. Maybe one bright Kentucky spring was more than it could mean. All I know is paper can hold a heart too well, and one small rain beside it can make the silence tell. Some love doesn't vanish, it only learns to hide. Some names stay folded on the quieter side. Kentucky postcards speak to me, tell me who you used to see. Was it love that missed the train? Was it goodbye dressed up as rain? When the old house starts to grieve, Kentucky postcards speak to me. When the old house starts to grieve, Kentucky postcards speak to me. The Pine Needle Café had a porch that faced the rain, a pot of coffee burning, and a jukebox full of pain. Miss Ruthie kept the pie case shining by the wall, and every tired traveler found a reason there to call.
A man from Carolina came in with muddy boots, asked for eggs and black coffee and a song that told the truth. He dropped a quarter slowly, let the old machine begin, then stared outside the window like he saw his life again.
At the Pine Needle Café, the old songs found a way. Coffee, steam, and window rain, steel guitar and quiet pain. If the road had made you stray, you could rest your heart at the Pine Needle Café. A woman named Marlene left a scarf behind one night, blue as Carolina evening, soft as porch light.
Ruthie kept it folded by the register for years, with the notes and unpaid tickets and the town's forgotten tears.
Now the roof is nearly caving and the sign has lost its green, but some folks say the sidewalk still remembers every scene.
Some cafes close their counters, some keep serving song, and some old country jukebox keeps the lonely moving on.
Some rooms don't need a stage,
some songs don't need a crowd,
they just need one tired heart
and a rainstorm coming down. At the Pine Needle Café, the old songs found a way. Coffee, steam, and window rain, steel guitar and quiet pain. If the road had made you stray, you could rest your heart
at the Pine
Needle Café.
The road past Baker's Crossing runs beside a cotton field, where the fence posts lean together like they know what time concealed. I used to hear the school bell from the store across the lane, while a country song came drifting through the open window frame. There was a girl named Caroline with a ribbon in her hair. She could make a Sunday morning out of ordinary air. I told her I was leaving when the harvest moon was high, and she said some roads are honest, but they never tell you why. Baker's Crossing, hold that song, keep it playing all night long. Through the dust and through the years, through the names that disappeared, if my heart gets lost too long, Baker's Crossing, hold that song. The store is just a shadow, the bell don't ring no more, and the road sign's barely hanging by the old feed store door. But I drove through last October with the windows open wide, and felt that young man in me wake up somewhere inside. Maybe Caroline got married, maybe she moved west, maybe she forgot me and the night I left the rest. But when the steel guitar came crying from a station out of range, I saw her by that cotton field, still smiling through the change. Some towns don't keep your body, some don't keep your name, but they keep a part of you that never learned to change. Baker's Crossing, hold that song, keep it playing all night long. Through the dust and through the years, through the names that disappeared, if my heart gets lost too long, Baker's Crossing, hold that song. Baker's Crossing, hold that song. I found a letter in the lining of an old brown Sunday coat. The paper smelled like cedar and the ink was barely wrote. It said, meet me after sundown where the freight line meets the trees. If you still remember August, bring that song you sang to me. Letters hide what hearts won't say, folded up and tucked away. A little rain, a little rust, a little love that outlived us. When the old years turn to gray, letters hide what hearts won't say. just a faded motel matchbook and a strand of auburn hair. I don't know who was waiting, I don't know who never came, but that letter still feels warmer than the coat that held its name. Some words miss their moment, but they never lose their fire. Letters hide what hearts won't say, folded up and tucked away. A little rain, a little rust, a little love that outlived us. When the old years turn to gray, letters hide what hearts won't say. There's a folded bowling scorecard in a drawer of old receipts, with 3 names written softly and a date from Cedar Street. The pencil marks are fading, the paper's turning tan, but someone circled Mary with a shaky little hand. I found it in a toolbox behind the laundry room, beside a broken wristwatch and a key to no known room. The radio by the window played a sad old country line, and that little scorecard opened like a door inside my mind. Bowling scorecard from Cedar Street, tell me who you used to meet. Was it laughter, was it rain, was it love that missed its lane? When the old songs turned bittersweet. Bowling scorecard from Cedar Street. My uncle never talked much about the years before the farm. He kept his Sunday jacket and a tattoo on his arm. But Mary must have mattered by the circle round her name, and the way that paper trembled like it still remembered flame. Maybe they were young folks with nowhere else to go, rolling hearts down wooden lanes while the jukebox played below. Maybe nothing happened, maybe everything began, but a scorecard held the story of a quiet, careful man. Some keepsakes look like nothing, some almost get thrown out, but paper has a memory when the heart still carries doubt. Bowling scorecard from Cedar Street, tell me who you used to meet. Was it laughter, was it rain, was it love that missed its lane? When the old songs turned bittersweet. Bowling scorecard from Cedar Street. When the old songs turn bittersweet. Bowling scorecard from Cedar Street. There's a butter dish in yellow on a shelf above the sink, with a chip along the corner and a flower painted pink. Mama set it on the table when the biscuits came out warm, while the radio played softly through the early morning storm. The kitchen smelled like coffee, rain and rising bread, and Daddy read the paper with his cap still on his head. I was too young to notice how a home could hold its light, and little things so ordinary, they could vanish from your sight. Yellow butter dish, keep that morning like a wish. Every table, every rain, every hand that carried pain. If the old days come to this, bring me back yellow butter dish. I found it wrapped in linen after Mama's house was sold, with a stack of faded recipes and a spoon with tarnished gold. It wasn't worth $1, had no shine left to show, but I held it like a treasure from a world I used to know. Now it sits inside my kitchen where the dawn comes creeping in, and sometimes when I touch it I can hear her laugh again. Some people leave you silver, some leave money, some leave land. Mine left a little butter dish and the warmth of working hands. Porcelain can crack, paint can wear away, but love can hide in dishes from an ordinary day. Yellow butter dish, keep that morning like a wish. Every table, every rain, every hand that carried pain. If the old days come to this, bring me back yellow butter dish. Bring me back yellow butter dish. There's a silver locket waiting in a drawer of faded lace, with a picture of a woman and a boy with my father's face. No name inside the cover, no note to say goodbye, just a little scratch of sunlight where the years went passing by. I found it after midnight when the rain was coming down. In the house my auntie left me on the edge of Clayton town. radio was humming some old forgotten tune, and the locket caught the lamplight like a secret from the moon. Silver locket, tell me true, who kept a little piece of you? Was it love that slipped away? Was it someone meant to stay when the old songs start to play? Silver locket, don't fade away. The picture's nearly yellow, but her eyes are clear and kind. She looks like she was waiting for a train she'd never find. My father never spoke much of the years before the war, but he kept one shirt pressed neatly in the closet by the door. Maybe she was his first love, maybe just a passing flame, maybe some old county promise that nobody dared to name. But the way his younger smile leaned softly toward her light makes me think some hearts keep singing even out of sight. Not every story opens, not every door swings wide. Some truths live in silver with the photograph inside. Silver locket, tell me true, who kept a little piece of you? Was it love that slipped away? Was it someone meant to stay when the old songs start to play? Silver locket, don't fade away when the old songs start to play. Silver locket, don't fade away. The road to Willow Junction runs beside the railroad line, past a leaning wooden depot and a faded county sign. I drove there every autumn when the cotton turned white, with the radio turned softly and your hand tucked into mine. There was a store that sold cold soda, a bench beneath the shade, and a man who played the fiddle for whatever people paid. You said that little nowhere had a sweetness in the air, like the whole wide world was busy, but time was resting there. Willow Junction, call me back down that quiet railroad track where the old songs used to stay and the years move slow all day. If my heart gets tired and worn, take me where my name was born. Willow Junction, call me back. The depot doors are boarded, the benches split in two, but I still see a blue dress in the morning light I knew. Some trains quit their running, some whistles lose their sound, but the places where love started keep on living underground. I stopped there last November with a cold wind coming through, and heard a song inside me that I only knew with you. It wasn't loud or fancy, just a simple melody, like a fiddle in the distance calling softly after me. Some towns disappear on paper, some never leave the heart. Some roads may lose their travelers, but they still know where they start. Willow Junction, call me back, down that quiet railroad track, where the old songs used to stay, and the years move slow all day. If my heart gets tired and worn, take me where my name was born. Willow Junction, call me back. Willow Junction, call me back. There's a ribbon in the Bible with no verse marked underneath, just a pressed blue flower and a photograph of three. A woman in a cotton dress, a boy beside a fence, and a man who looked like trouble, trying hard to look content. I found it in a cedar drawer when the house was being sold, wrapped inside a handkerchief the color of old gold. The radio in the hallway played a song from long ago, and that ribbon seemed to tremble like it had something to show. Blue ribbon, tell your story. Tell me what the years let go. Was it love or was it leaving? Was it something no one knows? When the old room fills with rain and the past walks in again. Blue ribbon, tell your story. Said not to ask it, some names are better still, but silence has a country song that time can never kill. I stared at those three faces, at the fence and dusty lane, and wondered who was smiling just to cover up the pain. Maybe that man left Georgia, maybe that boy was mine, maybe that flower came from a field beyond the pines. But every family keeps a box where half the truth can hide, and every faded keepsake has a voice locked up inside. when the secret wants it to. Blue ribbon, tell your story. Tell me what the years let go. Was it love or was it leaving? Was it something no one knows? When the old room fills with rain and the past walks in again. Blue ribbon, tell your story. When the past walks in again. Blue ribbon, tell your story. South Shreveport, rain came down on a two-lane road outside a sleeping town. The wipers moved like a tired old song, keeping time while I drove along. I had your letter on the passenger side, a little worn where the ink had dried, and every line cut clean and deep, like a promise I forgot to keep. There was a truck stop glowing blue, a coffee sign and a payphone too, a steel guitar on the radio played something sad from long ago. I pulled in hard, shut off the lights, and watched the storm swallow the night. Some men run when the truth gets near, some just sit and disappear. South of Shreveport, I'm still rolling with your memory in the rain. Every mile keeps unfolding, all the words I couldn't say. If the dawn don't wash me clean, if the past keeps chasing me, south of Shreveport, I'm still rolling toward the man I used to be. A woman by the counter said, "You look like trouble left for dead." I said, "Ma'am, I'm only passing through." She said, "That's what the lonely do." She filled my cup and let me be, like she knew more than she could see. The jukebox played a highway tune about a heart that came too soon. I thought of you in that yellow dress, standing where the fields turn west. I thought of all the years I spent turning love to accident. Then thunder rolled across the plain and I heard your voice inside the rain. Not angry now, not soft, not gone, just asking why I stayed away so long. Some roads don't take you forward, they pull the truth from dust. Some storms don't come to break you, they come because they must. South of Shreveport, I'm still rolling with your memory in the rain. Every mile keeps unfolding, all the words I couldn't say. If the dawn don't wash me clean, There's a hairpin in a matchbox from a place called River Moon, tucked beneath the folded letter, and a ticket from June. The matchbox lost its color, the strike strips worn away, but someone wrote, "Come find me where the old band used to play." I found it in a bureau with a scarf of faded blue, in a room that smelled like cedar and a life I never knew. The radio in the hallway played a song from long ago, and that little silver hairpin made the whole room overflow. Hairpin in a matchbox, tell me who you held. Was it love beneath the lanterns? Was it something never spelled? When the old room starts to talk, hairpin in a matchbox. My aunt said every family has a door they never close, a name they never mention, and a road nobody knows. Maybe she wore that hairpin to a dance beside the tracks. Maybe he kept the matchbox when she never made it back. There was no address or city, just that River Moon saloon, and a paper smell of summer in a half-forgotten June. Some keepsakes don't answer, some only make you see that every quiet household has a hidden history. Silver bends and paper fades, dust can take the room, but one small thing remembered can make old flowers bloom. Hairpin in a matchbox, tell me who you held. Was it love beneath the lanterns? Was it something never spelled? When the old room starts to talk, hairpin in a matchbox. When the old room starts to talk, hairpin in a matchbox.